If you're over 60, this one habit could be silently raising your risk of a stroke while you sleep. And it's not what you think. Picture this. You go to bed feeling fine, even proud of yourself. You've eaten a decent dinner, taken your supplements like you always do, and maybe even did a few light stretches before slipping under the covers. But in the early hours of the morning, something terrifying happens. You wake up and something feels off. Your arm feels heavy, limp. You try to move, but it won't obey. You open your mouth to speak, but your words come out jumbled, or worse, not at all. You feel dizzy, confused. The room is spinning, and your body won't cooperate. A stroke. And it strikes not because you smoked, not because you ate a poor diet, or even because you skipped exercise. No. In this case, the silent culprit was something far more deceptive, something you thought was protecting your health, something you likely took just hours before going to sleep. Vitamins. Yes, you heard that right. As a brain doctor who's treated hundreds of older adults, I've seen this shocking pattern unfold again and again. People over 60 who are doing their best to stay sharp, mobile, and healthy unknowingly sabotage their brain while trying to do the right thing. And that sabotage often comes in the form of certain vitamins and supplements. Every day, millions of seniors line up their bottles. Vitamin D for bones, vitamin E for the heart, B6 for energy, vitamin A for vision, niacin for cholesterol, and more. They swallow them down with a glass of water and drift off to sleep thinking they've done something good for their bodies. But what they don't know is that some of these vitamins, especially when taken in the evening or in high doses, can have unexpected effects on blood pressure, blood clotting, and brain circulation. Let me say that again, because this is where it gets urgent. These vitamins, under the wrong conditions, can quietly raise your risk of stroke while you sleep. No pain, no warning, no second chance. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 5 most common vitamins that may increase your risk of brain bleeds, dangerous blood pressure spikes, and strokes, particularly during the early morning hours, when your brain is most vulnerable. These are the quiet hours, when your blood pressure naturally begins to rise. Your body is shifting from rest mode to wake mode, and if something is already thinning your blood too much, or narrowing your vessels, or affecting your clotting, it could be a perfect storm. And this doesn't mean you should stop all supplements. Many vitamins are vital to health, especially as we age. But timing, dosage, and awareness are everything. What works at 30 doesn't always work at 70. So if you've ever taken vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin B6, vitamin A, or niacin, especially at night or in high amounts, this guide could be one of the most important things you ever read. This isn't fear-mongering. It's a wake-up call, because the line between protection and danger is thinner than you think, and it often comes disguised in the shape of a harmless little capsule. Let's dive deep into these 5 vitamins and uncover the surprising ways they could be working against your brain during sleep, so you can adjust, stay safe, and truly protect your future. Before we begin, I'd love to know, have you ever questioned whether your vitamins could be doing harm? Type 1 in the comments if you're curious to learn more. Type 0 if this is all new to you. And if brain health matters to you or someone you love, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Senior Health Guides for honest, science-backed tips made especially for older adults. 1. Vitamin E, the brain bleed risk. Vitamin E is often called the heart helper. Many over 60 take it for heart support, circulation, or skin health. But here's what's rarely talked about. Too much vitamin E, especially with heart meds, can lead to a brain bleed. Let me tell you about Mrs. Evelyn Brooks, 81, a retired librarian from Ohio. On warfarin, a blood thinner for a heart valve issue, her health was well monitored, but she added a natural vitamin E supplement, 800 incicramt units per capsule, to help her memory. 3 weeks later, she collapsed. A scan showed a hemorrhagic stroke, a bleed in the brain. The combination of warfarin and high-dose vitamin E had thinned her blood too much. Vitamin E acts like a blood thinner. If you're already on aspirin, Plavix, or warfarin, adding vitamin E raises the risk of internal bleeding, especially in the brain. The recommended daily intake for seniors, just 15 milligrams, 22 incicrapt unitus. Yet most supplements contain 200, 400, even 1,000 incicrapt unitus. Mrs. Evelyn survived, but now uses a cane, and her memory hasn't fully returned. She told me, "I just wanted to help myself. I didn't know I was doing harm." Takeaway: if you're on any blood thinner, talk to your doctor before taking vitamin E, read the label, and aim for no more than the recommended amount. Type E in the comments if this hit close to home. 2. Vitamin D, the silent stroke trigger. We've all been told that vitamin D is essential for good health, stronger bones, a stronger immune system, a brighter mood, even better protection against infections. And for seniors, this message is repeated everywhere. But what if I told you that too much vitamin D, especially when taken at the wrong time of day, could slowly push your body toward a silent, devastating disaster? That disaster is a stroke. Let me introduce you to a man named Mr. Walter, a proud 74-year-old retired Navy veteran, the kind of man who never missed a doctor's appointment, who ate right, stayed active, and followed every health tip to the letter. Like many other seniors, he believed in being proactive. He read articles, listened to podcasts, and decided to take his health into his own hands. That's why he began taking a 10,000 IU vitamin D capsule every day. He wasn't careless, he wasn't reckless, he was doing what he thought was right, protecting his bones, keeping his immune system strong, guarding against depression. After all, vitamin D is known as the sunshine vitamin, and what could be more natural than that? But what Mr. Walter and millions of seniors just like him didn't know was that his daily dose was quietly pushing his body out of balance. One morning, everything changed. His wife found him confused and unable to speak clearly. His right arm hung lifeless at his side. He couldn't walk. He had suffered a stroke in the middle of the night. What caused it? Vitamin D toxicity. His lab results were alarming. Extremely high calcium levels, arteries that had grown stiff and narrow, blood pressure that swung up and down like a pendulum. How could a simple vitamin do all that? Here's how. When you take high doses of vitamin D, your body begins absorbing more calcium from the foods you eat. That might sound good. After all, don't we want stronger bones? But the problem is, your body doesn't know what to do with all that extra calcium, so it does something dangerous. It starts depositing the excess calcium into places it doesn't belong, your arteries, for instance. Over time, this calcium builds up in the walls of your blood vessels, turning flexible, healthy arteries into brittle, hardened pipes. The result? Stiff arteries that can't expand and contract properly. When blood tries to flow through them, it gets bottlenecked. That bottleneck can lead to clots, and when a clot travels to the brain, you guessed it, a stroke occurs. And here's what makes it even worse. As we age, our arteries naturally lose some flexibility. Add in a dehydrated body, common in older adults, poor sleep, and a surge of calcium from a nighttime vitamin D dose, and you've got a perfect storm brewing in the dark. All of this without a single warning sign. You might not feel a thing. No pain, no dizziness, no headaches, until one morning you wake up and half your body doesn't move. Now, here's the even more alarming part. Most over-the-counter vitamin D supplements in the United States contain 5,000 to 10,000 IU per pill. That's 2 to 5 times more than the average older adult needs, especially if you're not deficient in the first place. And yet these megadoses are sitting on shelves in drugstores and health food shops everywhere, with no clear warning. Many seniors, just like Mr. Walter, are unknowingly taking toxic levels of vitamin D every single day. The research is clear. Even 2,000 IU per day could be too much for some people if they're not vitamin D deficient. And timing matters just as much as the dose. Taking vitamin D late in the day or before bed can disrupt your calcium metabolism while you sleep, precisely when your blood pressure naturally rises and your brain is most vulnerable to clots and bleeds. So what should you do? Here's your life-saving takeaway. Get your blood levels checked regularly. Don't guess. Have your vitamin D and calcium levels measured by your doctor. This is the only way to know if you're taking too much or if you even need a supplement at all. Take vitamin D in the morning, never before bed. Taking it in the morning gives your body time to process and balance calcium levels during the day. At night, your body should be focused on repair, not trying to regulate calcium surges. If you're taking calcium or heart medications, be extra cautious. Vitamin D interacts with many medications, especially those for the heart or bones. Combining them without proper guidance could make things worse. Always talk to your doctor before adding vitamin D if you're on other meds. Stick to safer dosages unless instructed otherwise. Many older adults do just fine with 600 to 800 IMI per day, according to conservative recommendations. Unless you've been tested and shown to be deficient, there's often no reason to take high-dose supplements. Let Mr. Walter's story be a lesson for all of us. His intentions were good. He was doing what he thought was right, but his body paid the price for a simple oversight that could have been avoided with a bit of knowledge and precaution. You have the power to protect your brain. You have the power to stay strong, sharp, and stroke-free well into your 70s, 80s, and 90s. All it takes is the right information and the willingness to act on it. So, if you're currently taking vitamin D, especially if it's a high dose or taken before bed, I encourage you to type D in the comments. Let's start a conversation that could save a life, maybe even your own. 3. Vitamin B6, the nerve killer in disguise. Often labeled as a nerve support or brain booster, vitamin B6 is common in energy, memory, and brain health supplements. But too much vitamin B6 can damage your nerves, sometimes permanently. Meet Mr. Harold Jenkins, 76, a retired truck driver. He came in complaining of numb feet, tingling hands, and balance issues. He thought it was just aging until he fell multiple times. Turns out he was taking a nerve support formula with 100 milligrams of B6 per tablet, twice daily. That's 200 milligrams per day, over 10 times the recommended upper limit for seniors. Vitamin B6 builds up in your body. High doses can strip the protective coating around your nerves, leading to tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, even confusion, and the damage can be permanent. Mr. Jenkins stopped the supplement, and the damage didn't worsen, but he now walks with a cane and doesn't drive. The safe range for seniors, 2 to 10 milligrams per day, including what you get from food. Takeaway: check any supplement labeled nerve, brain, or energy. Avoid anything with 50 milligrams or more of B6 unless directed by your doctor. Type B6 in the comments if you've used one of these supplements. 4. Vitamin A, the stroke mimicker. Vitamin A is essential for eyesight, skin, and immunity, but too much can mimic a stroke. Ms. Esther Elizabeth, 79, a piano teacher, took high-dose vitamin A for her eyes, 10,000 IU daily, for years. She started getting headaches, blurred vision, and dizziness. Her family feared a stroke. Scans showed elevated intracranial pressure, not from a clot, but vitamin A toxicity. Vitamin A is fat-soluble, meaning it builds up in your liver and brain. As we age, we process it more slowly, leading to pressure inside the skull, blurred vision, nausea, even permanent vision loss or cognitive decline. Most seniors only need 2,500 to 3,000 IU daily and often get that from food. Yet many eye and anti-aging supplements contain 5,000 to 10,000 IU or more. Takeaway: don't stack multivitamins with separate eye or anti-aging pills. Avoid high-dose vitamin A unless under medical supervision. Ms. Esther now requires vision therapy and balance training. She told me, "I thought I was doing something good. I never imagined it could hurt my brain." 5. Niacin, vitamin B3, the blood pressure time bomb. For years, niacin, also known as vitamin B3, has been praised in the world of heart health. It's often labeled as natural, safe, and effective. You'll see it added to cholesterol-lowering supplements, multivitamins, even energy drinks. It promises to unclog your arteries, boost your metabolism, and energize your body. But what if I told you that the very vitamin marketed as a heart protector could, under the wrong circumstances, turn into a heart and brain risk, especially for seniors? Let me tell you about Mr. Frank Miller. He's 82 years old, a retired school principal, still sharp, still active, still proud of keeping his blood pressure and cholesterol in check without prescription meds. So when he saw a popular over-the-counter supplement that claimed to support healthy cholesterol and circulation, he didn't hesitate. He began taking 2,000 milligrams of niacin every single day. And at first, he felt great. More energy, less fatigue, even better sleep. But then the side effects crept in, ones he didn't connect at first. His face would suddenly turn red and warm, what doctors call flushing. His heart would start to pound out of nowhere, almost like it was trying to escape his chest. He'd feel lightheaded when standing and sometimes so dizzy he'd have to sit down. Then one day, it happened. He was pouring his morning coffee when his speech slurred. His hand trembled and he couldn't hold the cup steady. He slumped into the chair, unable to form words clearly. It was a transient ischemic attack, TIA, a mini stroke. A brief blockage of blood flow to the brain. No lasting damage, thankfully, but it was a loud and frightening warning. And the surprising culprit? Niacin. Let's break it down. When you take high doses of niacin, it causes your blood vessels to expand. That's part of the reason it helps reduce bad cholesterol and promote circulation. But here's the problem. After that initial expansion, your blood vessels don't stay relaxed. They can quickly constrict again, snapping back into a tighter, narrower state. This sudden yo-yo effect, vasodilation followed by vasoconstriction, creates dangerous instability in your circulatory system. It stresses the heart, spikes your blood pressure, and worst of all, limits blood flow to the brain at the very moment your brain needs it most. In older adults, whose arteries are already more fragile, whose blood pressure is more sensitive, and whose nervous system doesn't regulate vascular tone as well, this fluctuation can trigger more than a bad moment. It can trigger a stroke. Even more concerning is the fact that niacin is often hidden inside popular cardiovascular health supplements. The label may not say vitamin B3, it might just list niacin in the fine print. And many versions sold today are extended release or marketed as flush-free. But these forms can still cause vascular side effects or liver toxicity when used long-term. So what's the right amount? According to medical guidelines, seniors rarely need more than 50 milligrams of niacin per day, and even that is typically achieved through diet. Anything higher should be prescribed and monitored by a physician, especially doses over 500 milligrams, which are considered therapeutic and carry a real risk of adverse effects. And yet, Mr. Miller was taking 2,000 milligrams daily. That's 40 times more than most older adults require, all because he trusted a bottle with good marketing and promises of heart health. So here's what you should know to stay safe. Avoid high-dose niacin unless specifically prescribed by your doctor. Niacin can be helpful for certain heart conditions, but only when managed by a physician. If it's not prescribed, skip the high-dose supplements. There are safer, better researched options for cholesterol and energy support. Always read the label. Look for any version of niacin, niacinamide, or nicotinic acid. If the dose is over 100 milligrams, consider it a red flag, especially if it's labeled as no flush or extended release. These versions can accumulate in the body and increase your risk without the usual warning signs. Be aware of hidden sources. Niacin is added to energy drinks, fortified foods, and multivitamins. If you're taking more than one supplement, you may be unknowingly stacking your intake. Add it all up, and you could be in the danger zone. Watch for symptoms. Facial flushing, a racing heartbeat, dizziness, and sleep disturbances can all be early signs of niacin overload. If you feel any of these, stop taking the supplement and consult your doctor immediately. Understand that natural doesn't always mean safe. Many seniors trust natural supplements more than prescriptions. But natural substances, especially in synthetic high doses, can carry powerful effects on the body. Nature can heal or harm. Mr. Miller was lucky. His TIA didn't result in lasting damage, but not everyone gets that second chance. For many seniors, the first sign of trouble is the moment when speech fails, vision goes dark, or movement disappears, sometimes permanently. So if you're currently taking niacin or any heart health supplement with an unknown ingredient list, this is your moment to pause, read the label, and reassess. It only takes a few seconds to check, but those seconds could save your brain, your independence, and your life. If this message made you think twice, type B3 in the comments. Let's help other seniors become aware of this silent risk before it's too late. So, what should you do instead? Food. Your brain doesn't need mega doses. It needs real, whole, balanced food. Here's what one patient, Margaret Wilson, 73, started doing. 1 boiled egg, protein, half an avocado, healthy fats, whole grain toast, steady energy, blueberries, antioxidants, a glass of water, hydration. Sometimes she'd add a few walnuts or almonds. Within weeks, her dizziness faded, energy improved, and mind sharpened. Best brain protective foods for seniors: leafy greens, folate and antioxidants, fatty fish, omega-3s, berries, polyphenols, nuts and seeds, vitamin E and healthy fats, whole grains, blood sugar stability. At this stage in life, every choice matters more. Your body doesn't process supplements the same way it did decades ago. Awareness is your best medicine. Read labels. Ask questions. Listen when your body whispers. Don't wait for it to scream. If any part of this video spoke to you, share in the comments. What's one change you'll make starting tomorrow? If this helped you, give it a like. Share it with someone you love, and subscribe to Senior Health Guides. You're not alone, and you're never too old to take back control of your health.